What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing? Welcome to Jake Richardson's Coaching Corner. This is season 2, episode 17. This is the bonus episode of the week where I talk about either something in sports or something in the news that is relevant to health and wellness, fitness, mental health, all that good stuff, all jumbled into one. But we're going to do more topics that are happening right now, and I'm going to give my spin on them. The topic of the day is Aaron Rodgers standing up for what he believes in despite the backlash. So let's dive into it. For those that don't know, Aaron Rodgers got into a shitload of media trouble, NFL trouble a little bit because he got fined. Because they thought in an interview that he said that he was vaccinated. Because he used the word immunized or whatever the fuck it is. And because he said that word, they got finagled and thought he meant vaccinated, but he meant they did his own treatment, and he is not vaccinated. So just recently, he got coronavirus, and it came out that he wasn't vaccinated. He got corona, and he has to sit out 10 days because if you're a non-vaccinated NFL player, you have to sit out 10 days compared to a vaccinated player that just has to show within 24 hours that they had 2 negative tests and they can go back to playing. And then the media just jumped all over him. The same way they kind of jumped all over Kyrie Irving. And they start using these harsh words and they start demonizing and doing all these things. But that is what we're going to go over today. First, let's get into detail of what really happened. So him and one of his wide receivers, Lazard, went to a Halloween party. And they didn't adhere to the NFL protocol, which I'm assuming they didn't wear masks or they were within 6 feet of people. And they went out to a Halloween party and they caught coronavirus. Both got fined $15,000. And the team within themselves got fined $300,000. Right off the bat, I'm not on here to tell people if getting the shot is right, if not getting the shot is right. I'm just more on here speaking about a story and then also giving a little bit of reality onto what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. First off, if he's at a Halloween party, everybody else is vaccinated and he is not. The person that is more susceptible to getting sick or feeling the symptoms when they actually do get sick, for CDC, FDA, all the protocols, it would be him. Nobody there should be worried if he is not vaccinated for their own health. If they're worried about his health, I completely get it. But their own health, you should not be worried at all. It doesn't make any sense. If you get a vaccination shot, the vaccination shot only helps you. So whatever the antibodies go into your body, it is supposed to protect you. It does not protect anybody around you if they're unvaccinated, if they are vaccinated, etc., etc. The shot is only to help you. So for you, if you're thinking that you're getting this shot and you're helping everybody else, and the person that doesn't get the shot is hurting everybody else, you have it completely wrong. When you get the shot, you help yourself out. The person that is unvaccinated is more at risk of getting sick. That's it. They can spread it the same way you can spread it because they can catch it the same way you can catch it. But the only difference is when you get it, you're not as sick as when they get it. So right off the bat, it doesn't make any sense to me why everybody would be so angry. He decided not to get it. He's putting his money, his health on the line. He got fined $15,000. The team got fined $300,000. At that point, everything should have just been nil void. You do your 10 days, you get back on the field, and you go from there. What happens next? Aaron Rodgers was sentenced to, like I said, 10-day suspension. Any athlete that is non-vaccinated in the NFL is a mandatory 10 days to where you can't play. Vaccinated players, like I said, they get within 24 hours, if you could show 2 false or negative COVID tests, then you're able to play. So there's not the 10-day wait. It's ready to rock, ready to go. which to me is also hilarious. If Aaron Rodgers somehow just had the super immune system and felt good, took two tests, let's say 4 days later, 5 days later, 7 days later, and both showed to be negative, he still wouldn't be able to play. He would still have to sit 10 days, almost like a timeout or almost like detention, where if you're a vaccinated player, which, like I said, you can still transmit it the same way, you can still pass it off the same way. Within 24 hours, if you show two negative tests, you're ready to rock. So right off the bat, right there, you see there's some bias in the NFL. There's some bias in the media that covers it. It doesn't really add up. But we'll keep going. Then the backlash hits. So gets suspended, and Jesus Christ, you could hear everybody, Shannon Sharp, ESPN, any sports news broadcasting was talking about this, and they ate him alive, calling him selfish, calling him reckless. And they love Aaron Rodgers. People fucking jump on his dick so fucking hard. I can't believe his hips still work. But the second that you do something outside the norm, or the second you do something that feels right to you, that might not feel right to them, they destroy you. Tiger Woods didn't get as destroyed in certain ESP or like certain sports broadcasting companies than Aaron Rodgers did. And Tiger Woods, who was a sex addict that was cheating all over his wife, that had 70 mistresses at IHOP and shit. So it shows you the narrative in which ESPN, First Take, Shannon Sharp and their broadcasting company is pushing towards. And it's pushing towards, if you are unvaccinated, that you are the worst of the worst human being. Which is, once again, a crack up to me. I don't understand where that all comes from. If he chooses whatever he chooses when it comes to getting a shot or not getting a shot, and no, it's not like he did this and 8 of his players died. Like, I can see that. I can see if he said, or they thought he said he got it, and then out of nowhere, 6 Green Bay Packers died. Nobody knows why. And then it comes out later, Aaron Rodgers didn't have a shot, and he is the reason why 6 Green Bay Packers died. If that was happening, oh man, I completely agree with the backlash that got dropped on him. But that isn't what happened. In our brains, and within the 2 years of me kind of experiencing this stuff, that's what I think people are acting like. People are acting like NFL players are dying every week, and we need to protect them, and we need to protect the organization, we need to protect the people around us. NFL owners are old as fuck. Robert Kraft for the Patriots is old as fuck. Roger Goodell, old as fuck. How come none of these old motherfuckers that actually own the teams have even died yet? Or their significant others, or X, Y, and Z? You don't hear any of that stuff. All you hear is about Aaron Rodgers. And then another one that's even wilder to me is how come nobody ever talks about all the players that are vaccinated that have to do the NFL protocol because they get coronavirus anyways. I play fantasy football. This is the only reason why I know this. Playing fantasy football, I will watch guys I'm playing against, guys that are on my team, friends of mine in other leagues, and you'll just notice 2 or 3 players every week can't play. And it's always a shocker to me. Then you click why they're out. Oh, coronavirus, corona protocols, and you can't play because you're sick. And I'm like, damn, there's that many breakthrough cases that are happening right now. I thought when you listen to CDC and when you listen to FDA, it is 98 to 99% effective. Damn, if it's that effective, how come that many NFL, and these are just the stars, these are the starters. They don't really talk about the guys behind the scenes. All you heard about was Aaron Rodgers. Nobody heard shit about Lazard, the receiver, and they decided both not to get the shot. They decided both to get sick. You only hear about the stars and them getting it. So if I'm only hearing about the stars, that means that there are a shitload of NFL players that are also getting it, that are vaccinated, unvaccinated, that you don't even hear about. So it seems like they're trying to sweep a lot of shit under the rug and then point the arrows directly at the one guy that decides not to get the shot. So for me, it also seems very fishy, very funny that they decided to even do that shit. Was this right? So was the backlashing and was the bashing and all that stuff right? To me, no, because he could use any kind of words that he wants. So they're getting on him because he used immunized and all that type of shit. If you fall for that shit and you don't do the research or you're just kind of enamored by Aaron Rodgers, that is your fucking fault. You should be asking questions at all times, especially if you're a reporter. You shouldn't just sit there and because they also spills into why athletes and why actors and why singers get away with everything is because we're so enamored and we're so in awe of them that we don't sit back and actually listen to what the fuck they're saying. That is a huge revelation that has hit me right now is all these people are probably so angry at him because they didn't see it. There have been a couple reporters that have actually come out and said that they're mad that they weren't listening to him because they were so stuck on just it being Aaron Rodgers and them being able to ask him a question. And the sadder part is they're not sad because they think they could have helped people. They're sad because they're not the first reporter to get a hold of it and become famous. So you're trying to become famous off of somebody else's fame, which to me is disgusting, and which to me kind of represents how news reporting and especially sports news reporting is today, where it's not about integrity, it's not about detail, it's not about burning the midnight oil, it's about getting onto the first bit of anything and then running with it. And you hear that from a lot of reporters. They're just really mad that they weren't able to catch it when he said it 3 or 4 months ago. And they're just late to the party now. And they're just, everybody's trying to put their spin on it, put their little article into it. And it gets super disgusting. And hopefully, with all these loser, dorky reporters, because most of them are just losers and dorks that weren't able to be athletes. That's why they like to be around sports, because they want to be athletes so bad that if they can't, they just want to be around it. I had an old boss that was just like that, where not athletic, super dorky, and all he wanted to do was be around fighters and athletes and all these people. So it made him feel athletic or it made him feel strong, which is sad. And it shows you that money ain't shit because people will give it all away just to be around athletes, just to breathe the air that they're breathing and jump on their dick as hard as they possibly can. And to kind of finish that part off, do your work. That's another message I want to get out there. These reporters sit there all day, every day, and scrutinize and pick people apart. And they do it when everybody else does it. So when it's the hot thing to do, everybody does it. When it's not the hot thing to do, nobody's paying attention because nobody's really doing their work. And nobody said shit 3 or 4 months ago when he used immunized. But now everybody wants to jump all over him because it's the hot topic. Don't be that. Don't be somebody that just jumps on the hot topics. Fucking do your due diligence and give your honest opinions on how you feel, no matter what ends up happening. So what happens next? Everyone, so he didn't play. When he didn't play, they played the Chiefs. They got smoked. Before that, all they were doing was jumping on Love, the backup quarterback. Everybody was talking about how Aaron Rodgers left a whole opening for him to take his job. And everybody talked about him. The media spun it to where Aaron Rodgers could be out and Love could be in if they beat the Chiefs. What the fuck? Talking about a guy that's a multiple time MVP, Super Bowl champion, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and they're talking about him getting replaced for one game. It's funny how they just use that pressure and use that narrative to hope that this could happen because they want to see somebody fail because they don't like what his lifestyle is, which is sad. Where it's like we're living in a world where you're not supposed to be judging people, unless they don't believe in what you believe in, and then it's okay. You can judge the fuck out of them. If the overall media and the overall census is different, oh no, we can judge the fuck out of that guy. I mean, you can't judge the fuck out of whatever's hot right now. So it's sad. It's stupid. Funniest part is life tends to work the way that life works. You want it to work a certain way, but life don't work like that. Life works the way you think it's gonna work in the funnier senses. Meaning, they play the Chiefs, they get whooped by the Chiefs. Aaron Rodgers does not play, they get murdered. And the Chiefs that have been losing 4 fucking games in a row just come out of nowhere and smack them because Love is a backup quarterback that's super young and he sucks right now. And he ain't Aaron Rodgers. So they end up getting whooped by the Chiefs. When they get whooped by the Chiefs, everybody gets hella quiet. Nobody says shit. Then Aaron Rodgers comes back. When Aaron Rodgers comes back, next week they play Seahawks, whoop the Seahawks. And then everybody's back on Aaron Rodgers' dick. So that is the funny part. The moral of the story is, people have a memory that is this fucking long, where they'll hate you, they won't like your opinion, they'll talk all this shit about you the second that you're not around. And then when you're back in the limelight, they're back on your dick. So you should accept praise, accept love from the outside people with this much grain of salt, because it doesn't matter. Because at 1 minute they'll hate you, the next minute they'll love you. And that's what happened to him. He was the hot topic for 2 weeks. They beat Seattle, and everybody shuts the fuck up. You don't even hear about it anymore. So that's what main reason why I wanted to wait before I did this one is I like to see the before, the middle, and the end, and then I want to get my opinion. And that's the part that makes me laugh the most is when you're winning, they're back on your dick. If he goes losing again, or if he gets hurt or whatever, I bet you they bring it up later, and they'll try to spin it somehow. But as of right now, Packers are winning. He's the main reason why they're winning. They have nobody on the team. They have Randall Cobb, who is fucking retired for 40 years and then came back in. Now he's a second receiver. They got Devontae Adams, who's the only guy that does anything. So they have a team of misfits, and because of Aaron Rodgers, it's like the fucking Sandlot. He's the fucking star player, just making everybody look good and win. So that is the main moral of the story is you don't have to like somebody's opinion, or you don't have to like somebody's stance. But if they're in a realm in which you idolize them, when they win games, you'll be on them. You don't give a fuck. If they're on your team, you'll love them to death. And there's a lot more people, in my opinion, that have done a lot worse things that fans, that sports media has forgiven. And for Aaron Rodgers to take a stance in something he believes in, because he's also the shit that's in these shots, his body doesn't respond well to. He has allergic reactions to them. So if you do have that and you know that there's a potential where you can hurt yourself, why would you try to hurt yourself just to make everybody happy? Those are the main keys I'm trying to push within this thing is stick up for what the fuck you believe in. And if it's gonna hurt you, there's no reason for you to please people. You do what you gotta do to make yourself feel better, to make yourself more successful, and fuck everybody else, because people will judge you 1 minute and then the next minute they'll be on your dick when you're succeeding. That happens all day, every day. I've lived that where people want to see you fall so bad. They're praying that you fall. Somehow you end up in their prayers the night before because they want to see you fall so bad. Then when you succeed, they're the first person to call you. They're the first person to text you. Oh, congratulations. I always knew you'd do it. When behind the scenes, they're the ones that are trying to shit on you the whole time. Those people, just to remind you, don't mean shit and shouldn't mean shit in your life. The people that should mean anything to you are the small people that you decide to put in your circle, because those people actually care about you. Those ones are praying that you do well, and those are the people that you want around. Those are the only opinions that should slightly matter. The main opinion that should matter is your own opinion. And with Aaron Rodgers, he has a great story of his own opinion mattered. He believed in what he's doing. He's always believed in what he's doing, and that's why he's the position he is now. It has to do a lot with his upbringing, going to junior college, then going to Cal, then supposed to be getting drafted high, gets drafted super late, and then he has a huge chip on his shoulder. So he's always viewed the media as a bunch of pieces of shit, as he should. And I feel the same exact way. Stick to your guns. That is a message that's gone through the test of time. Stick to your guns, stick to what you believe in, and things will work just fine. The reason why they'll work just fine is because you still have you. No matter if things are good, no matter if things are bad, because in life, understand things will be good and things will be bad. But if you have yourself and you're on the right path, you'll be just fine. If you're looking for outside sources to lift you up, if you need people's approval to lift you up, if you need people's love to lift you up, then life is going to be rough because you're always going to be looking for somebody else to pick you up. When times get rough, you should very much so dive into yourself and look into yourself and see what you could do to help you out. It doesn't mean that you're going to pull yourself right out. It could be a slow crawl, but it means that you're relying on yourself and trying to push forward. So that is a huge moral. And at the end of the day, the reason why you stick to your guns is because if you stick to your guns and you end up being successful, people will always hop on your either real or hypothetical dick. Meaning, a lot of people don't want to be successful, or they're afraid of being successful, or they don't know how to be successful. And that's why they sit and they dwell and they talk shit. If you are somebody that wants to bank on yourself, believes in what you're doing, then that's what you have to do, is not worry about anybody and just keep chugging along, keep chugging forward. Aaron Rodgers did that. He got scrutinized, talked hella shit about, and didn't see a bead of fucking sweat drop from his face. He kept moving, kept pushing, did his 10 days, watched his team give up a loss that they can give up because they're in first place, and then come back in and then win all over again. And then there's a keep winning and winning and winning as long as he's their quarterback. So it is a great moral to the story, and I love it. And if you're somebody listening to this that's sour, it's because you're a sheep and you're a dork. If you're somebody that's listening to this that's like, man, that's actually a really good story, it's because you're a wolf. And because you are a wolf, like myself, my advice to you is don't listen to stupid ass people. Focus on yourself, focus on your circle, get a hold of your family, get a hold of your loved ones. Just tell them that you love them, talk to them, strengthen your circle, because that is how you'll be successful. These outside voices don't mean shit. The people within, listen to them, grow, and become a better person. That is the end of this bonus episode. I hope you like it. Leave comments. Let me know what you want to hear. And then get out, get up, and do something to make yourself better. Peace.